One night recently, Harry stopped me at bedtime and he said, just out of the blue, "What do you think life would be like if Emme didn't have NF?" And my heart just stopped. And I said to him, "I'm not sure. What do you think life would have been like if Emme didn't have NF?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, I know we wouldn't be this unstoppable."
I think of what the world could be, a vision number one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Hi, my name is Emme and I'm 8 years old. I have neurofibromatosis type 1.
The beginning of Emme's story is definitely my favourite part of the story, but it's also the shortest. For the first 9 weeks after Emme was born, there were no signs that anything was wrong with her. These little markings started to appear on her body, really faint, almost like little bruises. I asked the paediatrician if they could explain what these markings on her were, and the paediatrician left the room, and he came back into the room with, it felt like a room full of people, and he started to speak to them, not to me, and he said to them, "What we're seeing here is the very beginnings of a disorder that causes tumours to go throughout the body." Just before Emme turned 2, she started to come to me at night and she would hold her little head and say, "Ow, mama, ow, ow." I knew that something was deeply wrong with her, and they told us then that she had a brain tumour in her brain stem, which is like if you're going to pick a place, you don't want it in the brain stem. It just felt like a nightmare. And so to know that she had tumours right up her spine, in her brain, and then to be told that she had another tumour in her arm, and this tumour was a particular kind of tumour that's very specific to NF.
I have a tumour in my brain and 2 parts on my arm. This one's not my swell, but this one is.
So we were told that that plexiform runs down her arm into her ulnar nerve, and it's wrapped around the blood vessels and muscles in her upper arm. And I think that was actually the straw that broke the camel's back for me. We tried to set aside that additional, incredibly heavy fear that we had for her arm. She went from being a little girl who was, in spite of everything, very happy and healthy still, to a little girl who was no longer toilet trained. She was back in nappies again. She was not eating anymore, so she became tube fed for maybe 6 months. She no longer ran and walked or sang. She would just lie in my arms. And so we didn't do any of the things that people do. We didn't celebrate. We didn't say that was her last round of chemo. We didn't ring a bell. We literally just picked her up in our arms and walked out. Each of us, all of us, you, me, the kids, Emme, have our own book. And that book is divided up into chapters. And if you imagine each of those chapters is a chromosome, and each of those words in that chapter is a gene, and each of those letters in each word is DNA. And on one page in Emme's book, one of those words has been misspelled. And that particular misspelling of that word has flowed through the chapters of her book. So incredibly difficult and cruel. But it doesn't change that every other word in the book and every other chapter in that book is filled with joy and laughter and love, and her book is still full, even though she just has one word that's misspelled.
The hardships that Emme's faced, it's kind of taught me to be more grateful, the strength to do things that I didn't think I could do, because she does it so easily.
At no point ever does she look at the world as an unfair place. She doesn't approach any day with grief in the same way that we have. I've never seen anybody take life and grab it in the same way she does.
Brave is you have to believe in yourself and be confident. And sometimes my mum says to my blood test, it'll be over in a flash. I mean, it is. So that's why I think I should be brave.